The silent deception. The quantum scanner's holographic display cast an eerie blue glow across Commander Sarah Chen's face as she stared at the intercepted transmission. After 15 years of serving as Earth's head of deep space intelligence, she had learned to trust her instincts. This message, encrypted in what the Galactic Council thought was an unbreakable cipher, made her blood run cold. "Play it again, AI," she commanded. The AI compliance officer materialized the quantum stream once more, its crystalline patterns revealing the Council's treachery in perfect clarity. The Council had secretly signed the Zenith Accord, a pact that would allow the aggressive Zenith Empire to peacefully annex Earth's colonial territories. In exchange, the Council would receive access to the Empire's dark matter harvesting technology. They had sold out humanity for power, plain and simple. Sarah's hands clenched into fists as she watched the Council representatives, beings she had once respected, callously discuss the fate of billions of humans as if they were trading common commodities. The transmission ended with the Council's high speaker declaring that Earth's representatives would be managed appropriately to prevent any resistance. "AI, initiate Perseus Protocol," Sarah spoke, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Authorization, Chen Alpha 79. Perseus Protocol initiated." "Commander," AI responded, "awakening the fleet." Deep beneath Earth's oceans and hidden in asteroid bases throughout the solar system, massive hangars hummed to life. While the Council believed Earth possessed only a modest defense force of outdated ships, the truth was far different. For decades, humanity had been preparing for betrayal. The Perseus Initiative, unknown to even most of Earth's government, had produced vessels that would reshape the understanding of space warfare. Quantum-shifted hulls that could phase through conventional weapons, dark energy drives that bent space itself, and AI systems that could predict enemy movements seconds before they happened. All developed in absolute secrecy. Sarah opened a secure channel to Admiral James Rodriguez, commanding officer of Earth's official fleet. "James, it's time. They've signed the accord." A moment of silence followed. "Understood. I'll begin the evacuation protocol." "How long do we have?" "The Council plans to announce the accord in 72 hours. We move before then." Sarah pulled up a tactical display of known Council forces. "Your fleet needs to appear to be caught completely off guard. Make it convincing." "Don't worry about us," James replied. "Just make sure those Perseus ships are everything the eggheads promised. We're betting everything on this." Sarah ended the transmission and turned to the quantum scanner once more. Across the galaxy, Council ships moved in their predictable patterns, their commanders confident in their superiority. They had no idea that humans had long ago surpassed their understanding of physics and warfare. The next 48 hours passed in a blur of preparation. Sarah coordinated with cell leaders across Earth's colonies, arranging for millions of civilians to be quietly moved to secure locations. The Council's spies reported everything as normal, just another day in humanity's supposedly primitive territories. When the Perseus fleet finally emerged from its hidden docks, even Sarah felt her breath catch. The ships seemed to drink in light itself, their quantum-shifted hulls creating visual distortions that made them appear almost ghost-like. 300 vessels, each more advanced than anything the Council had ever encountered, assembled in perfect formation. "AI, status report on the fleet," Sarah commanded. "All vessels reporting optimal functionality, Commander. Quantum cores stable, dark energy drives synchronized. The fleet is ready." Sarah opened a channel to all Perseus vessels. "This is Commander Chen. The Galactic Council believes they can sacrifice our people for their own gain. They think we're primitive, weak, predictable. Today, we show them how wrong they are." She paused, looking at the tactical display one final time. "Execute Operation Shadowfall." The Perseus fleet moved with impossible grace, ships phasing in and out of normal space as they accelerated to speeds the Council had deemed theoretically impossible. Their first target, the Council's premier shipyards in the Centauri sector, the facility that had built the very ships intended to enforce humanity's submission, would be the first to fall. As the fleet disappeared into quantum space, Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. The Council had forgotten the most important lesson about humanity. We are at our most dangerous when backed into a corner. They would learn this lesson well in the coming days. The silent deception was over. Now began the age of humanity's fury. Operation Shadow Strike. The Centauri shipyards hung in space like a metal spider web, construction drones moving between partially completed Council warships. High Commander Vextal of the Council Security Force stood at his observation post, mandibles clicking with satisfaction. Soon these ships would ensure Earth's compliance with the new order. His satisfaction evaporated as the sensor officer's voice crackled through the command center. High Commander, we're detecting unusual quantum fluctuations in Sector 7. Before Vextal could respond, reality itself seemed to tear open. The Perseus fleet materialized from quantum space, their dark hulls absorbing the starlight like liquid shadows. The Council's advanced warning systems, designed to detect any known form of propulsion, had given them less than 2 seconds of notice. Commander Sarah Chen's voice echoed through every communication channel in the shipyard. This is your only warning. Evacuate all personnel immediately. Vextal's mandibles clicked rapidly in agitation. Launch all defense platforms. Contact the Council fleet at. The quantum-shifted hulls of the Perseus vessels pulsed with energy. Concentrated beams of dark energy lanced out, passing straight through the shipyard's supposedly impenetrable shields, as if they didn't exist. Where the beams touched, matter simply ceased to be, creating perfect cylindrical holes through the massive structure. Impossible. Vextal screamed. Our shields are rated to stop. Sir, his tactical officer interrupted. Their weapons, they're operating on principles we've never seen. The energy signatures don't match anything in our database. Aboard the Perseus flagship Nemesis, Sarah watched the tactical display with cold satisfaction. Area, status of enemy evacuation. 87% of civilian personnel have reached escape pods. Remaining military personnel are attempting to mount a defense. Sarah nodded. The Perseus initiative had been built on human ingenuity, yes, but also on human morality. They would not needlessly sacrifice lives, even those of their enemies. Hold position until evacuation is complete. Maintain suppressing fire on military targets only. The Council's defense platforms opened fire, filling space with a web of plasma bolts and particle beams. The Perseus ships shifted partially out of normal space, allowing the attacks to pass harmlessly through their quantum-shifted hulls. It was like trying to shoot a ghost. Evacuation complete, Commander. Area reported. Execute Phase 2. The Perseus fleet moved in perfect synchronization, their dark energy drives allowing maneuvers that defied conventional physics. They encircled the massive shipyard in a complex three-dimensional pattern that left Vextal's tactical officers speechless. Energy spike detected. Someone shouted. The Perseus ships linked their quantum cores, creating a cascading resonance field that encompassed the entire shipyard. Within this field, the laws of physics began to break down at a fundamental level. Metal twisted and warped as quantum uncertainty took hold at a macro scale. Vextal watched in horror as the pride of the Council's shipbuilding capability collapsed in on itself, crushed by forces that his finest scientists had deemed impossible to control. Decades of work and hundreds of warships intended to subjugate Earth reduced to a sphere of compressed matter smaller than a shuttle. Send the footage to all Council command centers, Sarah ordered. They need to understand exactly what they're dealing with. Across Council space, military commanders watched in stunned silence as humanity revealed its true technological capabilities. The Perseus fleet had not just destroyed the shipyard. They had demonstrated complete mastery over forces that the Council had barely begun to understand. Primary objective complete, Area announced. Detecting multiple Council battle groups responding to our position. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Right on schedule. Prepare for Phase 3. The Perseus fleet split into precisely calculated squadrons, each targeting a different strategic location across Council space. As they vanished into quantum space, Sarah opened a channel to Earth Command. Operation Shadow Strike Phase 1 complete. The Council wanted to see humanity's response to their betrayal. They're about to get a very thorough demonstration. In the ruins of the Centauri shipyard, Vextal's emergency pod drifted among the debris. His mandibles had stopped clicking, frozen in a position of utter disbelief. The Council had thought they were dealing with primitives who could be safely sacrificed for political gain. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous, a humanity that had secretly surpassed them in every way that mattered. And this was only the beginning. The alliance shatters. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, normally a place of measured debate and careful diplomacy, had descended into chaos. Representatives from 100 species shouted over each other as footage of the Centauri shipyard's destruction played on endless repeat above their heads. High Speaker Zalthran, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation, struggled to maintain order. The humans have revealed themselves as a threat to galactic stability. We must unite against. Unite. The Arcturian representatives' bioluminescent patterns flashed with anger. Like you united with the Zenith Empire to betray Earth, our longest-standing trading partner. In the shadows of the chamber's upper tier, Sarah Chen watched the growing discord with satisfaction. The Perseus Initiative hadn't just planned for military victory. It had prepared for political warfare as well. ARIA. Initiate diplomatic sequence Delta, she subvocalized through her quantum neural link. Across the galaxy, carefully planted data caches began releasing their contents into public networks. Evidence of the Council's corruption, secret deals, and planned betrayals of not just Earth, but dozens of other species. The Medusan representatives' tentacles coiled in rage as the data streamed across their neural interface. The Council planned to seize our outer colonies as well, under the pretense of protective occupation. The humans aren't the threat. The Regelian ambassador's mechanical voice resonated through the chamber. They merely exposed the cancer at the heart of our supposed unity. Sarah watched as decades of carefully maintained alliances began to crumble. The Council had built its power on secrets and lies, never suspecting that humanity had been documenting everything, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal the truth. In orbit above the Council homeworld, the Perseus fleet maintained its position, quantum-shifted hulls rendering them virtually invisible to conventional sensors. Admiral Rodriguez's voice came through Sarah's secure channel. The Arcturus Confederation is requesting immediate talks. They're offering military support. The dominoes are falling exactly as predicted. Sarah replied. Open diplomatic channels but maintain combat readiness. The Council still has one card left to play. As if on cue, the massive doors of the Grand Chamber burst open. Zenith Empire warriors stormed in, their biomechanical armor humming with deadly energy. High Speaker Zalthran's crystalline form brightened with relief. The Zenith Empire stands with the Council. Their forces will help us maintain order and... His voice cut off as the Zenith warriors suddenly stopped, their armor powering down. Their commander stepped forward, helmet retracting to reveal a human face. "I'm afraid," the infiltrator said with a cold smile. "The Zenith Empire has new leadership." Sarah stepped out of the shadows, finally revealing herself to the stunned assembly. "While you were watching our fleet, other pieces were moving into position. The Zenith Empire's leadership has been replaced. Their forces now answer to the Free Systems Coalition." The chamber erupted again, but this time with demands for immediate withdrawal from the Council. Species after species announced their intention to join the new coalition, leaving the corrupt old order behind. High Speaker Zalthran's crystalline form dimmed as he realized the full scope of his defeat. How long have you been planning this?" "Since the day we joined the Council," Sarah replied. "Humans have a long history of dealing with empires and their inevitable betrayals. We learned to prepare accordingly." The Perseus fleet began broadcasting new coordinates throughout Council space. The location of Haven, a massive space station that had been built in secret over decades. It would serve as the headquarters for the new Free Systems Coalition, a true alliance based on mutual respect and cooperation rather than dominance and fear. As former council members rushed to pledge allegiance to the new order, Sarah received another message from Admiral Rodriguez. The Necros hegemony is mobilizing their fleet. They're still loyal to the council. Sarah's expression hardened. The Necros, cybernetically enhanced warriors who had long served as the council's enforcers. This was the final battle they had prepared for. Alert all Perseus squadrons, she commanded. Operation Checkmate begins now. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can really do when we stop holding back. As the Perseus fleet moved into attack formation, Sarah addressed the assembled representatives one final time. The age of secrets and betrayals is over. Welcome to a new era, one where humanity stands as an equal partner, not a pawn to be sacrificed. The alliance had shattered, but from its ruins, something better would rise. And humanity, so long underestimated, would help lead the way. Checkmate in the void. The Necros battle fleet emerged from hyperspace like a storm of living metal. 10,000 ships, each crewed by cybernetically enhanced warriors who had spent centuries enforcing the Council's will. Their neural networks hummed with cold calculation as they approached the Perseus fleet's position near the Arcturian Nexus. Supreme Commander Nexus Zero, more machine now than organic, watched the tactical display with artificial calm. The humans have shown impressive capabilities, but they cannot stand against our numbers. Begin the attack pattern. Aboard the Nemesis, Sarah Chen watched the Necros fleet's approach with practiced patience. Area, status of Operation Checkmate. All pieces in position. Commander, quantum entanglement network at full capacity. The Nexus is responding exactly as predicted. The Necros fleet split into their infamous pyramid formation, a battle strategy that had conquered 1,000 worlds. Energy weapons charged, targeting systems locked onto the seemingly outnumbered Perseus vessels. Interesting, Nexus Zero observed. They're not retreating. Calculate probability of human victory. His neural network processed the scenario instantly. Probability of human victory, 0.1%. Their force is too small, their position too exposed. They cannot. The space around the Arcturian Nexus suddenly lit up with quantum distortions. Where there had been empty void, hundreds of Perseus ships materialized. They had been there the whole time, their quantum-shifted hulls perfectly camouflaged against the backdrop of space itself. Probability calculation error. Nexus Zero's systems blared. Recalculating. Sarah's voice cut through all communication channels. You've spent so long relying on cybernetic enhancement that you've forgotten something crucial about human nature. We excel at making the impossible possible. The Perseus fleet moved in perfect synchronization, their positions forming a complex geometric pattern around the Necros forces. Dark energy beams linked ship to ship, creating a web of quantum-entangled energy. You're not just fighting our ships, Sarah continued. You're fighting mathematics itself. The quantum web began to pulse, each beat sending ripples through space-time. The Necros fleet's formation began to waver as their navigational systems encountered equations they couldn't process. Their strategy is clear, Nexus Zero announced. They're attempting to disrupt our neural networks with quantum interference. Adjust shields tow. No, Sarah interrupted. That's not our strategy at all. Area, execute final sequence. The quantum web suddenly contracted, its energy condensing into a precise geometric pattern. The laws of physics within the battle zone began to rewrite themselves according to human design parameters. Nexus Zero watched in horror as his ship's cybernetic systems began to separate from their organic components. The quantum field was literally unraveling the boundary between machine and flesh, undoing centuries of Necros enhancement in seconds. Impossible. Nexus Zero's voice carried genuine emotion for the first time in centuries. Our technology is perfect. Our calculations err. Your calculations are based on what you thought was possible, Sarah replied. Humanity has moved beyond those limitations. We don't just use technology. We reimagine what it can do. Across the Necros fleet, cybernetically enhanced warriors found themselves suddenly, shockingly, fully organic again. Their ships, dependent on the neural integration of machine and pilot, began to drift powerless in space. You could have killed us, Nexus Zero realized, touching his now fully organic face with trembling fingers. Instead, you freed us. The Perseus Initiative was never about replacing one form of dominance with another, Sarah explained. It was about showing the galaxy a better way forward. You're no longer bound to the Council's service. Join us. Help us build something better. The battle that was supposed to decide the fate of the galaxy ended not with destruction, but with transformation. The Necros fleet, once the Council's ultimate weapon, became its final defeat. As rescue ships moved in to assist the former Necros warriors, Sarah received word that the last Council holdouts were surrendering. The old order was truly finished. Commander, Araya announced, the Free Systems Coalition is requesting your presence. It's time to begin building the new governance structure. Sarah looked out at the field of ships, former enemies now potential allies, and allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. Humanity had not just survived the Council's betrayal, they had turned it into an opportunity for genuine change. Send word to Earth, she commanded. Operation Checkmate is complete. A new game is about to begin. A new dawn. 1 year after the Arcturian Nexus battle, Haven Station rotated peacefully against the backdrop of a nebula chosen for its symbolic beauty. The massive structure, revealed at last in all its glory, represented everything humanity had envisioned for the galaxy's future, a place where technology and nature coexisted, where different species could meet as equals. Sarah Chen stood in the Grand Assembly Chamber, now filled with representatives from every corner of the galaxy. Former Council worlds, independent systems, even the reformed Necros Society, all gathered to formalize the principles of the Free Systems Coalition. The quantum core is stable, Araya reported through their neural link. The station's systems are operating at optimal efficiency. Sarah nodded, watching as former enemies engaged in peaceful dialogue. The station itself was a testament to human ingenuity. Built using the same quantum-shifted technology that had won the war, but repurposed for peace. Its walls could phase between solid and transparent, allowing species with different atmospheric needs to interact naturally. Former Supreme Commander Nexus Zero, now known simply as Nexer, approached her. His organic features had softened over the past year, showing emotion that would have been impossible in his cybernetic form. The medical department reports success with the last group of enhanced warriors, he said. They're adapting well to their restored organic states. Many are asking to join the Coalition's peacekeeping force. And how are you adapting? Sarah asked. Nexer smiled, an expression that still felt new to him. I had forgotten what it was like to truly feel. The Council told us enhancement was evolution, but they just wanted soldiers who wouldn't question orders. Humanity showed us their strength in remaining true to ourselves. The assembly chamber quieted as Admiral Rodriguez took the central platform. The Perseus fleet's quantum arrays now served as a communications network, allowing his words to reach every world in Coalition space simultaneously. 1 year ago, we faced a choice, he began. We could have used our technological superiority to establish a new empire. Instead, we chose a harder path, building a true alliance of equals. The quantum displays activated, showing the progress made in just 1 year. The former Zenith Empire territories, transformed into thriving trade hubs. The Necros worlds, their societies reorganizing around organic enhancement rather than cybernetic replacement. Even the former Council headquarters, now a center for technological and cultural exchange. Humanity's greatest strength, Rodriguez continued, was never our secret fleet or our quantum technology. It was our ability to imagine a better future and work towards it, even when others thought it impossible. Sarah's neural link chimed with an incoming message from Earth. The Perseus Initiative's original architects wanted to share their latest breakthrough, a way to use quantum-shifted technology to restore ecosystems damaged by centuries of exploitation. The Coalition Security Council is ready for you, Commander, Araya announced. Sarah made her way to the council chamber, where representatives from 12 different species awaited. Together, they would tackle the challenges that no single civilization could solve alone. The Deep Space Monitoring Network detected unusual activity in the void between galaxies. The Arcturian representative reported, "Something may be heading toward our space." Sarah felt a familiar spark of excitement. Once, such news would have prompted fear and preparation for war. Now, it represented an opportunity for discovery and cooperation. "Prepare a first contact team," she ordered, "and activate the Perseus fleet's long-range quantum sensors. Whatever's out there, we'll face it together." As the council members coordinated their response, Sarah reflected on how far they'd come. The council's betrayal had been meant to subjugate humanity. Instead, it had catalyzed a transformation that benefited all species. Commander Araya's voice carried a note of what might have been pride. "The Coalition Charter has been ratified by the last remaining independent systems. The unification is complete." Outside the station's quantum-shifted windows, ships from 100 worlds moved in harmonious patterns. The Perseus fleet, once Earth's secret weapon, now served as guardians of a peace built on mutual respect and understanding. "Send word to all Coalition worlds," Sarah commanded. "The age of division is over. We face the future as one people, bound not by force or fear, but by choice and hope." As her words echoed across the galaxy, Sarah Chen, the architect of humanity's greatest victory, allowed herself to smile. They had not just survived betrayal, they had used it to forge something magnificent. The dawn of a new era had truly begun, and humanity, no longer hidden in the shadows, would help light the way forward.